Hey, what it do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm super excited for today's video. Now, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, and that's because I've been working on a project that's pretty much like doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I didn't want to show it to you guys until I actually made some good progress on it. So we're gonna head up to the front of the property. I'm gonna show you guys what I have been working on for pretty much the past 2 weeks. Every day after work, every weekend, this thing has consumed like all my free time. And then another thing that we're gonna be doing today, I'm gonna start up the old John Deere tractor. I'm gonna go grab all the implements. We're gonna bring them in here. We're gonna start setting them up so I can start working on them. It's a little bit of sad news, and if any of you guys have been watching a couple videos in the past, you guys know that John has been planning on moving to Arizona. Well, it actually happened. You guys can see that this shop is a wreck. And that's because I pulled the stock trailer in here, and we actually moved a bunch of his stuff in the stock trailer out to Arizona. We did that the other weekend, but as I pulled it in here to give it like a once over, now it's not my stock trailer, but I was checking everything and I knew it needed some welding, but I didn't know it needed this much welding. The frame was actually completely cracked in half on both sides. Now we've just been using it on the property for the past couple years, so it doesn't really ever leave, but to make it roadworthy, I had to do a bunch of work. So anyways, that's why this is a wreck. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is one of the coolest fences in the whole San Diego region. I have not seen one like this out here. So super unique, I love it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and jump into it and let's roll. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing warming up. Put it in neutral. Hopefully it doesn't run me over. Down, boy, down. I'm gonna go ahead and undo this guy right here. Whoops. Sorry, hose. Away we go. Oh, that would be reverse. All right, so we got a lot of old stuff out here, and this next piece of equipment, this thing is gonna, man, I got the hiccups. And this next piece of equipment, well, it's no exception to the rule. So here's the old baler. It's an old gosh, dude. So this is the old International Harvester baler. It hooks up to the machine right here with the PTO. It's got a little hitch bar down there that's gonna hook up to this drawbar, I think. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do that yet, but somehow the hay comes up in here. You have this little corkscrew. It feeds hay. That thing like wedges it together, and then it starts to shoot it out that way. And so behind this door you have your twine, and somehow these connect together. These connect together. You guys can see the little diagram right here, and then they both feed into here somewhere, and this like wedges it together. Basically it's gonna make a hay bale right here. This is not part of this machine. These need to go, but after your hay bale's made, it basically poops it out the back end right there. So let's see if I can get this thing hooked up. 10 minutes of fighting with this thing to try and get it hooked up. We are finally dragging it down to the shop. Again, I have no idea how to even use this thing. We're just kind of going for it. So I'll probably get it into the shop, but since today's 4th of July, oh no, my leaf blower. I hope it survived. Whew. That was a close one. That would have been a sad day. All right, well, I got it backed up in the shop, and she definitely needs some work. For sure, she's gonna need some new tires. I don't think those will really hold air anymore. We got a couple things that are bent back here. This tire definitely is trash. Like I said, I have no clue what to even start looking for on this thing. I'm gonna have to like try and find a manual somewhere, try and figure out what does what. Because there's definitely a bunch of stuff that's broken on it. But I got it in the shop, so that means that at least I can start working on it. But today's 4th of July, so I'm gonna kind of like wrap it up. I'll be back tomorrow. I just wrapped up work today, and I came up to the shop, and I'm looking at this baler. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it. We are gonna go grab the hay rake, And as I'm looking at this thing, you guys, farm equipment is like some of the gnarliest equipment. It's like the kind of stuff you do not want your hands or fingers to get anywhere near. As I'm looking at this, like, I have no clue what this does, but I'm assuming it moves back and forth. You got these gears right here, gears right here. Let's go ahead and take these things out. So again, I have no clue how any of this stuff works. I've never ever worked with any of these kinds of things. So from what I've read, this is the contraption that goes ahead and like puts the baling wire or the twine around the hay bales, and somehow it cuts it, and then from there it just shoots it out the back. But I went ahead and took out all these plow things. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this, and come to find out, it has a trailer stand. So when I went to hook this thing up, I was out there with like a pry bar trying to lift it up because the drawbar would not go far enough to go into where it connects. And so I was having to like fight to get this thing up. So I'm gonna lift it up and actually put the trailer jack down, so next time I back up, it's not like impossible to hook up to. All right, so this is another scary looking contraption. This is the hay rake. Basically, these things flip around somehow, and they kick all the hay to one side and put it in like a windrow. So you can come by with the baler later on, scoop it up and turn it into bales of hay. So you guys can see that I kind of got it picked up here. Let's see if I can get this pin to drop in. Oh, easy, easy. Let's see what's going on here. Definitely a little bit Mickey Mouse going on. So I've never moved this rake. Ever since I've lived here, this is where it has sat. And basically you guys have like a solid axle right here. So as the tires spin, it spins this little shaft right here, which rotates this star thing, which basically flips these things around somehow. So this thing is probably gonna start moving as soon as I start driving forward. I don't know if there's really a way to disengage it. I'm sure there is, but for now, I'm just gonna drive it down to the shop. All right, here we go. Let's give it a whirl. See if she moves. So apparently it's disengaged. Let me see if there's a way to engage it real quick so you guys can kind of see what it does. All right, so we're gonna let the tractor just drive by itself for a little bit. Got it in first gear, it's just going super slow, but basically you have this little cable right here, and if you let go, it releases the clutch and it starts moving the hay rake around. So if I give this a good old yank, you guys can see that it stops moving. Let's see how fast this thing gets moving once we actually get this thing moving at a decent speed. Let's put you in fourth gear. Bring these RPMs just up to smooth. And away we go. Woo. Oh well. Okay, so since we're up here, I'm gonna go ahead and go up to the front. I'm gonna show you guys the front fence so far. It's looking super rad. So it is a little bit windy up here, and for that I do apologize. There might be some background noise, but as far as projects go on my property, this is probably one of the cooler things that I've done. The more and more that I finish, like, I get super excited. And if you guys have been following me along on Instagram at Mr. Get Muddy, you guys are probably getting sick of my progress photos. But this project has pretty much consumed my life on the weekends after work. Anytime I get a free minute, I've been working on this fence, and it is time consuming. There's a lot that goes into it. You guys saw when I dug the holes, when I did the notches with that cool tool that I have, but let me go ahead and show you guys this. It's super rad. So we have the top rail, and this is old drill pipe. It's the same size as this stuff right here. I haven't welded it all together. A lot of it's still tacked together. So when I am ready, I'm just gonna start down there. I'm gonna sit at a post, gonna turn the generator on, turn the welder on, and I'm just gonna weld the heck out of these things. For now, I've been trying to just get the actual structure of it all pieced together, and then when I'm ready, I'll just start at one end and I'll weld the entire thing all the way in. So far, I'm to right there. I'm gonna go to that post, then I'm gonna start at that post and start working my way back out. I think I have enough to make it to that second pole down there. So I don't have enough to do the entire front of the property, but I've got enough to make a pretty good start on. So this fence is turning out super cool. The more and more I work on it, the more and more I just am falling in love with this fence. I have not seen a fence like this anywhere in San Diego. I'm pretty sure that they have fences like this out in the Midwest, out in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, maybe those types of areas. But I've never seen one out here. And I actually had a lady drive by the other day, and she stopped, and her and her husband were like, James, you know what? That is the most beautiful fence I've ever seen. And it just made me feel good because I've put a ton of work into this fence, and I'm not even halfway done yet. But coming in, this driveway used to be much narrower, just used to be fence line all the way, straight 90. So I did a 45 right here. So it's a nice tapered corner. So when I come in with the low boy, I got a nice wide turn that I can make. So I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Shh, don't tell anybody about this, but things almost got out of hand real quick. The other day when I was working up here, you guys can see that things got a little bit toasty. And if it wasn't for my wife and my brother-in-law, well, we might have had a bad scenario on our hands. So always have water close by when you guys are doing stuff like this. And I think definitely for sure before I work on that fence line, I'm gonna clear all those weeds so it's bare dirt so we don't have a repeat of this. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of 2 years ago when that happened and that whole mountainside was black and basically took out the whole valley. So anyhow, be careful, guys. Don't play with fire. And then the old fence line was just it was pretty sad. It worked, but you never knew what was there, and I couldn't really cut weeds in front of it because if I took the lawnmower there, I didn't know if I was going to suck up a piece of wire. Whereas with this fence, I don't have to worry about it falling apart. I don't have to worry about what's on the ground right here because I super cleaned it out. As this fence line, well, it's seen better days, and there's a ton of rocks in here, so I got to go in here and clean everything out like I did over there. And eventually I want to do the whole front of the property. But for now, I just really want to focus on the entry right here. I still need to build the beam for that. I need to build the gates for that. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update to the ranch entrance. It's coming along pretty good. I'm super happy with it. It is definitely more time consuming than I thought it would be, but I think the extra work is going to be worth it. It's just going to turn out beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and get this thing down in the shop. We're going to get it greased up, cleaned up, and really I don't think it's going to need a whole lot of work. It does have a couple of these little, whatever these are called, I don't know, springs. One of them's broken right there, so it's got a little bit of work that can be done to it, but for the most part this thing's ready to go. You guys saw that it worked, but that baler, whew, that thing's gonna need some work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws this video. I'm super excited for the things that are coming here shortly. I love tinkering on old stuff like this. I'm really excited for the whole aspect of actually ranching and farming and starting to grow my own feed for the animals. In the next video we are going to be playing around with these guys. I finally found some 2.5-inch water valves. There's a lot of oddball pipe in the ground out here. So I found some 2.5-inch valves, which these hook up to. So we are gonna go play with these things. These are my massive sprinklers that we are going to be watering the pastures with. So we'll see how these go. Anyhow, a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline, pun intended. But thank you guys for watching. Give me a huge solid like, subscribe, share this video with amigos, hit that notification button down below so you guys can continue to see other stuff that we got going on. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.